Hi, welcome to the Hannah G Knits podcast. This is episode 6, and I'm so glad you're watching. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for the kind welcome you gave my sister as she joined the podcast last week. I'm hoping to have her back every once in a while as she's available. And as we, have someone to watch the boys, maybe grandma's available. And she can join us again. So that was really fun for us. We always are talking about yarn and knitting and projects and what we're going to cast on next. So it's fun to do it and then to hear back from you guys. There were so many kind comments, and a lot of people said they loved that, we could knit together and knowing people who knit in person. I love the online connections I've made, but it is nice to have someone you can knit with, or at least talk to. Or go to the yarn shop with together. So it has been really nice and we love it. We love that we can both talk about knitting and just have it in common. It's great to have shared interests with the people you love. So anyway, getting started with finished objects. I only have one finished object today. Technically it's two. It's a sock. So I have these socks. Ooh. My ends haven't been woven in. Yikes. So, wow, it does look really nice. I shared this last week. I just had one done, but I finished both of them now. These are some socks I made for a pattern that I'm writing. So I'm writing a sock pattern for kids. It's called Back to School Socks. Basically inspired by my love for fun socks as a child. I had these pair of socks that had orange, very early 2000s, yarn, sort of acrylic-y, just fibers coming out the side, just like this far. And I would pull them up super high, and so you could see the ruffles coming out just below my calves, and I was probably 7, maybe, I'm not sure, but I would play basketball. And so I would wear them to my basketball games because they were the same color as my jersey, and I just loved them. And I had a pink pair too. And so anyway, they made me feel confident and special. And my mom helped me pick them out, and so I just felt loved and all of that. So in writing this, I thought back to school socks, maybe a child struggles with school, or maybe they love going to school, so they want a special pair of socks or whatever. So if you watch my previous podcast, I talk a lot about it, but I just love the idea of someone being able to say, like a little person saying, someone loves me, they made these for me, I'm wearing them, I can feel confident and strong. I would love that at any age. So anyway, back to school socks. So when I was writing the concept up before I kind of graded it, I knew that the size, the largest size would be my size, so size 10 years and above would be my size, and so I just decided to cast on and see if the idea worked, and it did. It became this, and so it has this cute folded cuff, little ruffle, mohair ruffle, some ribbing that continues through the foot because, especially kids, we need some stretch in our socks, right? Anyway, the stretchy, I really like. So these are finished. I wrote up the pattern, called for testers, and that has gotten started. Actually, it started yesterday, and someone has already finished a sock because there's a newborn size, and they take no time. So anyway, that is a finished object. So I thought I would share 2 from the archives today because I don't have a lot of finished objects. So my first from the archives is this sweater. If you followed me before, in the past, in the fall maybe, I wear this sweater all the time. I've had it for 2 years now. I think I made it 2 years ago in June, so a little over 2 years, and yeah, I love it. So it has some mistakes because it was probably my second or third sweater I made, and so yeah, it has some mistakes, but it's okay. It reminds me of where I've been. So it's the Tailed Sweater by Orlane. I'll put her name in the comments or in the information. So my sister shared one last week that she just made out of like a cotton wool blend, and she's wearing it like for the summer and she loves it so much. And I also love this sweater. I'll share a picture of it on, but yeah, I love the color. Ooh, yes. It's really coming through well. And it's like purple, but it has like some darker, qualities. I don't know. But yes, it basically matches like everything I have, so I wear it as soon as I can in the fall. It's very cropped. I can't remember if I modified it. It's been so long, but it's very cropped. It's Raglan. It's kind of like a sweatshirt, but also I wear it with skirts sometimes because that's cute too. And yeah, it has this nice detail up here that I really like. I don't know if you can see, but the ribbing's cool. I learned a lot of stuff. I was like, whoa, you can do this with yarn? I had no idea. And I did that on the hem for the sleeves and the bottom. And I used Vovo by Rosa Pomar, and that is the suggested yarn. So that was nice to use the suggested yarn. I believe it is. So that yarn is from Portugal, and if you look at her website, she has some awesome like breed specific or just like Portuguese sheep. I don't really know a lot about that, and so I won't pretend like I do. But it seems very cool. If you follow her on Instagram, she has some great stuff that she's talking about, and I love her yarn. I got to visit her shop a year and a half ago. No, 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years ago. And she's now since moved shops, but my parents are going back to Lisbon in a few months, and so they might have to visit her new shop if I can find them the right trim to take to get there. But I can't remember if I bought this when we were there. Yeah, I think I might have bought it when we were there, or I ordered it, I'm not sure, but I was very happy with it. I love it. I love the pattern. It was very like intuitive. I love when they're well written. I love the yarn. It's like kind of rustic. Like it's definitely not like I wouldn't probably put this on Ollie and be like, it's gonna be your favorite sweater. But yeah, it's 100% wool. I'm not really sure, but I like it. Smells good. Smells like sheep maybe, or just wool wash, I don't know, but it smells good. Yeah, so I love this sweater. From the archives 2 years ago, 2020, June 2020 is when I made this. And yeah, I really liked it. I didn't get to wear it that much that winter because I was pregnant with Ollie and it didn't fit. But I didn't really leave the house either, so didn't have anywhere to wear it. But I wear it a bunch now. And my second from the archives project is a little bit more recent. Ta-da! This is Micah's Raglan sweater. I don't think I've shared it before besides as like a pattern that I launched, but I just wanted to share it because it has gotten so much love this month. It is my best performing pattern on Ravelry this month. Like so many people have bought it for me. Not like so many, but like it's my best pattern this month. And so I just want to say thank you. If you bought this pattern or knit this pattern, thank you. You are supporting me and my little child and our life, and yeah, I just really appreciate it. And yeah, I also love the cables. So I used I don't remember which yarn, but I'll put it in the description, but it's a superwash yarn from Sandnes Garn, and yeah, it has like little folded cuffs. So cute. So when your child grows, inevitably you can just uncuff them. Folded hem, which I love. Raglans, which are cabled. I think that's a great introduction to cabling if you haven't cabled before, but also makes a basic sweater really fun to knit if you are a more proficient knitter. So it's got the little classic rib, love a sewn bind off, extra stretchy for putting over a little person head. They can be so big, extra stretch here when it's folded. So something I learned recently, maybe I'll make a reel out of this, I don't know. I'm not that good at reels, but I made a sweater for my son. I had a folded neckband. I tried to put it on and it didn't fit over his head. Very sad, right? I was so excited about it. And he thought it was funny because he was stuck inside, but so I usually do a shortcut for folding the neckbands for myself. Instead of binding off and then sewing it down, I bind off and sew down at the same time. Works for me. it's risky because then if it doesn't fit over your head, you are dealing with all these live stitches. Or if you're using rustic yarn or woolen spun yarn and it snaps, then you've got live stitches and you're at a coffee shop and you're like, excuse me, gotta run to the bathroom and try to fix this. So yeah, I just keep that in mind if you are like me. I was like, this is the best thing, I can knock it out. And then something like that happened to me and I was very sad. So anyway, bind off, then sew down. So bind off, so when I was trying to figure out how to get it to fit my son, because I knew the neck was wide enough to fit over his head. So I bound off, then I put it on him, it fit, and then I sewed it down. And when I bound off 2 stitches, I did a yarn over, bound that off, and then bound off 2 stitches from the sweater. So it was super stretchy and not pretty to look at. But when I folded it down, it looked fine. If you're feeling discouraged because your sweater won't fit over your child's head, you could try that if you've made the sweater and you know the neckline is big enough. That worked for me. Anyway, thank you for purchasing this pattern. It was very exciting to see it doing well on Ravelry this month. So thank you. And that is all I have from the archives today. So moving on to works in progress. I have a sweater that I love as a work in progress today. I cannot wait for you to see it. I've shared it the last couple of podcast episodes because it's a slow going sweater for me. Not because it's like hard to knit really or anything. It's just, I'm not in a hurry because it's a fall or winter sweater and it won't be cool here for a very long time. But this is my Kerti sweater by Orlane. She also made the tilt, so big fan of her patterns. I love it. Yeah, so I'm using good wool, which I've said before, in olive oil, pale oats, and pink dawn. So green, white, and pink, and I really like it a lot, how it's turned out. This is the first time I felt like my color work actually looks really nice. If it doesn't, it's okay, you can tell me, but I've only made like 3 colorwork sweaters and there's always like bunching and just long floats that I can't figure out how to catch and all of that. And this one, it's not blocked, but I'm happy with how it works. I learned about color dominance after my first sweater. Unfortunately, that one does not benefit from using color dominance. But if you don't know about that, I'll put a tutorial. It's very interesting. So I was able to do that with this sweater and I am happy with it. Very happy. So I still have 2 more inches on the body before I do ribbing, so then it'd be like 3.5 inches, but this already is a good length for me if I add the ribbing, and it's intended to be like a full length sweater, so to past your hips, I guess. I haven't bought anything full length in a long time or made anything, so I don't even know what length that is. I just make everything cropped because it helps me feel not quite as short as I am. I feel like it just looks a little better on my stature to have it cropped. So I think I might finish this up soon and add the ribbing at the bottom and then work on the sleeves. Yeah, my sister has my long magic loop size 6 needles, so I may not do the sleeves for a while, which is fine. Abby, if you're watching, it's totally fine. I don't mind. I knew when I gave them to you that I was going to run into this, so I don't mind waiting. I've got plenty of other things to knit. Okay, another work in progress that I have. It's not technically in progress right now because I ran out of yarn for it and I need to buy more. I actually did buy more, but it just hasn't come yet. So I bought this yarn originally at my local yarn store, but they are now out, and so boo. Good for them that they're selling the yarn, but sad for me. So I bought it from Webs or yarn.com. And anyway, okay, which way does it go? Isn't it cute? Okay. Just like a tiny colorwork sweater is just the cutest thing, right? So, has little baubles too. So this is actually my design, and that I'm working on right now. I'm writing up the pattern while I wait for the yarn to come so I can finish the sample. So I've done like the grading and all of that and just putting it in the right format before I can send it to my tech editor. And I'm thinking about naming this a Snowglobe Sweater because, well, you can tell like there's baubles and little snow and all of that. So I'm going to make, I think this is a size 4, US 4, not US, but just age 4, yeah. So I think this is an age 4 sweater that I'm knitting now, and I want to make one for Ollie to wear this fall and winter, so I'm going to make the opposite. So I'll do, the main color will be the blue, and then I'll do the snowflakes in white. So I think, I'm not sure when this will be ready for testing. Maybe by the end of September. I really should do these faster. No, maybe, I'm going to say maybe mid-August. That'll give me a couple of weeks to finish this, get it sent off, get it back. Anyway, I want to release it for like November or December so that you can knit one for your child when it snows. I don't know when it snows where you live. Sorry if you're in the Southern Hemisphere and you are having summer when we are having winter when I release this. But it snows here like January, February, around Ollie's birthday maybe. So maybe this will be his birthday sweater. But I'm excited. I haven't designed a round yoke sweater before, so there felt like a learning curve there. But also haven't designed a Colorwork sweater. So I'm very excited to see this hopefully go out into the world. Yes, excited. And also the hem or the neckband, I love. That was like the main thing I really wanted. I really wanted this like rolled wide neckline. Just think it's extra cute. So waiting on yarn to come. I think it'll come by the end of the week and then I can finish it up. I'm using Cascade 220 Superwash Sport. Very specific, but this was the color they had, or that I wanted, and they had it at my local yard store, so I was like, I'm gonna buy it. So anyway, I don't remember what color this is, but yes, I'm very excited about it. And I want the yarn to come so I can finish this sample, send it off, start the next one, get it ready for testing. It takes me a long time to do that. I know some people can just send their designs and get going and then release them like a couple weeks later. I wish I could do that, but I am slower, and then also I want to give a lot of time for my tests because most people are testing for their children. They have children or they engage with children often, and so they might not have as much free time for knitting. So I'll try to make them really long, but then for my next work in progress, these are the socks I was talking about. These are actually like little people size. So I only have one of each, that's why it's a work in progress. These are my back to school socks that are currently in testing. This is one version, so it has the ruffle up here, the folded cuff, it has a longer ribbing section, and I believe this is size 12 months. And then I also made a size 2 year, and it doesn't have the ruffle. It has the folded cuff, it has a short length of ribbing, and then the length for the 2 years. So I give a lot of options in the pattern to customize it for your little person that you knit for. I forgot to talk about this earlier, but if you don't want a ruffle, then you don't have to have one. If you want it to be a shorty, then you can make a shorty, and you can make it taller, whatever you want to do. So I love the idea of the kids being able to pick, like, oh, I want a ruffle on one and no ruffle on the other. How fun is that? Or, I don't know, you can make them whatever you want. So lots of options. I am also working through with my testers, like including lots of different length options, because it can be hard if you're gift knitting to know, okay, so their mom said they're a size 6 kids, but you know, the size range that I provide says US 5 to 9. So how long should you make the sock? Because they don't wear a size 9, they wear a size 6. So I'm trying to provide like different options or different choices for you to have when you are knitting. So trying to focus on, you know, people who knit for their own kids that can measure their child's foot, or people that are gift knitting for a child, knitting for like donating a specific size, or wanting to size up, like how big should I make these for the fall, that kind of thing. I really want to take that into account. So we'll see. I'm working with my test knitters now, and hopefully it turns out good. We will see. Very excited though about these little socks. This is Ollie's size, so he will get this one for sure. I just have to make another one for him. He tried it on, and then he was like, I want to put it on my hand, because he likes to like play with socks on his hands. So he was like, why are you putting that on my foot, Mom? Socks are for hands. So anyway, work in progress. Let's see. Oh, I do have another sort of work in progress. I recently shared on my Instagram that I saw a sweater on a show and I wanted to recreate it. So the show was The Summer I Turned Pretty. This is not me endorsing the show. I liked it. I thought it was cute, but I don't know. Watching it as a parent, I was like, that's a lot of underage drinking and drug use. So I didn't love that. Okay, so anyway, I saw a sweater in it. One of the moms, Laurel, she wears a loose white flowy sweater, and she's wearing it on the beach. It's very cute. She has on like a white high neck tank top, and this is like the style that I go for. I realize it almost looks like sort of like a nun outfit today, but she was wearing that, and she had the cute little high neck tank top, which I have some of those, and then the loose sweater over top. They were both like white and cream, and I don't remember if she's wearing jeans. I'm not sure, but I was like, whoa, that is the look I want to recreate. And so I have been searching for a pattern that looks similar to it. I'll put a picture up over here, the best one I can find. I'm not gonna go back and rewatch the show because I liked it. I didn't love it. So anyway, I haven't found a pattern. I know I could just knit this, like another cumulus tee. I modified the sleeves to be long, and so I could knit another cumulus tee, knit a few sizes up maybe, and it would be the oversized look. But I just wanted to knit a different pattern, support a different designer if I could find one. That was what I was looking for. So I haven't found one yet, but I thought about just knitting it up on my own. So I swatched. This hasn't been blocked yet, so it's all curly. But I swatched my Sweetgrass yarn from Purl Soho. There it is. It's cotton wool. Oh, it's cotton alpaca. This is undyed. I think it's heirloom white. Yep, heirloom white. And yeah, so I won this for like a summer sweater, and I know summer's almost over, so maybe I'll wear it next year. But I swatched it up, and I thought I might just make my own pattern up. I got some great recommendations. Thank you if you sent me a recommendation. I do really appreciate them, but I think I might just I like something from all of the sweaters, so I might try and recreate that for myself. Not for like a design or anything, just for myself, I think. But I'll let you know how that goes. I'm sure you'll see it on my Instagram stories, but I just wanted to get the gauge up, and so I could start thinking about casting on and whatnot. It's very like airy because I use size 4 needles, and this is a fingering weight yarn. So we'll see how that goes. Inspired by Laurel. We'll see. I've also just been like scrolling on where I usually get my sweaters. I've gotten sweaters in the past and just like style inspiration. So I've also been looking for just like style inspiration. Now that I'm thinking I might knit it up myself, so I can just incorporate those design elements that I like. And I just realized my microphone went off. I'm so sorry. I'm almost done, but my microphone went off. So hopefully there's sound for this. We'll see. Okay, I'll just finish up, and if not, I'll record again another time. Okay. Let me just unplug it. Okay, so acquisitions. I thought I didn't have any, and then I remembered some. The yarn I'm using for these little socks, I just got in the last like 2 weeks maybe. So I ordered from Knitpicks, and I used their yarn Knitpicks Stroll, right? Yep, Stroll fingering. So I got a lot of different colors because I didn't know what color I wanted the socks to be, and I was thinking about making a few different colors, like for like marketing, I guess, like sort of how sock designers will make different versions and different colors and stuff. So I have some cute different like fall schoolish colors, like if you go to a private school, or like they're more like preppy, I guess. I was looking at color inspiration from some fall drops for kids clothes, and a lot of them like have these sort of colors. I described it like Ivy League or something to my sister today. I don't know if that's what it is, but it's like very like university. Like if I looked at Gap or Old Navy when I was looking at their fall clothes for kids, like very like, I don't know, like polos and stripes, stuff like that. And like burgundy, forest green, this color. So anyway, not that I want to copy what's out there, but I want them to sort of complement what's available. So I really like the Knitpicks Stroll. I've never used it before, but it's a very nice feeling, like it's very soft. 230 yards for 50 grams. I don't remember how much it cost, but it was a very affordable option. Also, this sock was only 11 grams, so that could be like 5 pairs of socks from one of these. I mean, 5 socks. 5 socks from one of these. Yeah, so I'm happy with it. We'll see how it wears. It's superwash merino and nylon. It says it's machine washable and tumble dry. I do want to make him like a pair out of like a special yarn or a hand dyed yarn or something, but for now I want my samples to always look accessible, be accessible, use yarns that are like more budget or affordable. So yes, that is my acquisition. I'm honestly thinking now, like, do I need to make a sweater for Ollie out of this? Like stripes? How cute would that be? Okay, maybe the next thing will be like a school sweater or something. Those little academic stripes going on. Cute. Do we want to see that? Do you guys want to see a fingering weight sweater for kids? I don't know. Anyway, people say they don't like knitting fingering weight for kids, is what I've seen on my Instagram. So I'm interested if you like that or not. Okay, those are the acquisitions I have. It was all done with that. Oh, one thing. Happy launch day to Amy. Sure, when I'm recording, it's the launch day for the coloring book tee. And she has tagged me in that post with the pink sweater, if you've seen it. I did knit that sample. That's what I've been working on, and I didn't know if she was going to credit me or not, but she has. So that's what I've been working on kind of this summer, and I love knitting it. It was a beautiful pattern, a beautiful and thoughtful design, and Amy just puts a lot of thought and care into grading the design to be size inclusive, and I could see that across her testers and across how everyone enjoyed the fit. So yes, anyway, all that to say, that's what I've been working on. I didn't realize she was going to credit me, and so that's why I was like, I'm working on a sample, but I can't share it. So I did knit the swatches and the pink silk sweater in the Knitting for Olive silk, and I love the experience and the yarn and the pattern, all of that. It was wonderful. So congratulations, it's a beautiful design. So happy to be a small part of it. Anyway, I think that's all I have today, a short episode. I don't have a lot of things on my needles right now because I did finish up that sample, and then I've been working on, oh, it's right here, actually. I've been working on this, finishing up like the test cycle. Let me grab this. Finishing up the test kind of cycle for my classic crew. This is a sweater for kids, and it's finishing up the test right now. So I've been kind of putting a lot of energy into finishing the pattern, getting it rechecked by my tech editor, working on the launch. So I think it will be like August 15, 16, mid-August is what I'm planning on. So I really need to get it together and get some pictures. It's very hot here, so I don't think I'll get any modeled pictures. I won't make my son wear this when it's 100 degrees Fahrenheit outside because it's wool, but hopefully we'll get some cute like styled pictures. We'll see. Maybe I can get some inside with him. I'm not sure. I don't want to force him to wear it if he doesn't want to. So anyway, yes, this is what I've really been working on. Gotta weave this in. I'm very happy with how it turned out, and I love that my test knitters got to use this yarn that I love. And yes, this yarn was, it's by Purl Soho, and they kindly sent this to me for the design, which felt, I was excited. It was the first time someone's been like, yeah, I like your pitch, here's some yarn. So that was awesome, and it was a long time ago, so I'm excited to see it finally coming to fruition. And yeah, can't wait to share it with you. And also my testers did a great job. Super cute sweaters, super cute kids. Yeah, so that's what I've been working on, kind of not knitting, but knitting related. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. My husband said I need to tell you to like, comment, and subscribe. And then I should weave it in like in a funny way. So maybe next time you'll have to watch for it. But to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe, because it does help my videos get seen and shared. And I would love for other people to talk about knitting with me. So I would love to hear what you're knitting or working on. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you in 2 weeks, and can't wait to see what you've knit.